Okay, and we are officially live with Brandon. I'm Robert for another episode of Football After Hours. Here we go. Yankees win. Brandon's happy. Yankees gear top to bottom. Who isn't happy is the Rams, but Mac Jones is a pretty classic performance. But I don't think we've ever seen a quarter, or at least it felt that way, just drove the ball that quickly, Brandon. I mean, that was as fast as it could possibly be. What, 2.44 seconds?
I mean, the game plan tonight for the Niners was just don't let Mac Jones hold it. Just get the ball out of his hands, and it worked. It just worked. The Rams had no answer. They were just not ready for. They were just not ready for Mac Jones to just be like that quick with his decision making. It's just, I mean, not many defenses would be ready in that situation. I mean, the Niners. The Niners, yeah, but here's the flip side of that. You won, and he did get the ball out quick, but you won at what cost? Because he is taking a beating back there. So,
yeah. I mean, at least you have 10 days. Maybe Purdy's ready to go. Maybe.
I just can't believe with all these injuries that the Niners are 4-1. Like,
isn't it? It's a testament to how Shanahan's coaching. This has been pretty impressive through 5 weeks.
Yeah, and
it's simple, but it's working.
I just don't. I still think it's too early to start really speaking highly of them because with all those injuries, I just can't see it. I can't see them surviving long term. But at the same time, I mean, it's working for now, but you got to keep your guys healthier than this because it's fine through 5 weeks because it's only 5 weeks of a beating that your team has taken. Wait till you get to week 10, week 12, end of the season, and then when the guys are all fatigued and injured, then it's going to really – wheels are really going to fall apart. So, it works for now. They're fine for now. They're playing good with what they've got for now. But it's worrying me that the beating that they're all taking, despite winning.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. For the Rams, you got a couple things. You want to start with Joshua Carty. 4 blocked kicks in pretty crucial moments throughout the first 5 weeks of the season.
I mean, part of it was like you were saying before we came on. Their line to just that line.
The offensive line on the special teams, whatever that's called.
Yeah. I forget whatever. I know there's an actual name for it, but
I've lost it over the years.
But either way, they're getting caved in like on every single snap of that ball, and Carty never had a high arc on his kicks to begin with, but like the guy's kicking line drives right into the hands of defenders. So it's just when you've got it's already bad that you have a line drive kicker, and it's even worse when that line is getting blown off the ball on every single snap. So he really even if he was to put even on that last kick they made to send the game to overtime, it almost got blocked. It was pretty close to getting blocked. So I mean, they got to figure out something. Either if this keeps going this way, you might have to fire the special teams coach because this is pathetic.
Top to bottom, it's really bad.
So I just can't. I don't know what the problem really is. I mean, Carty was never that great of a kicker, but he was never this bad either. And it's not just him; it's just that entire whole setup. The entire operation of it is terrible. So
it's awful. Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna fix it, but it is what it is right now. I mean that's the big reason why they're losing a lot of these games. It's why they lost to Philly. It's why they lost this game tonight because that last kick, if they didn't get the extra point blocked earlier in the game, that kick would have been for the win to end the game. So
these field goals matter across the league. Like, why are we talking about it? It's because this matters, dude. It matters massively.
Yeah. And if you have a game where you're getting blown out and you have to try to come back in the game, then field goals really don't matter. But when they are crucial, when they come at crucial points in the game, those points you leave on the board in those moments matter. And, you know, the Rams, I mean, you lost by 3. You should have won this game by 1. That blocked extra point is basically what made the difference in this game. I mean, it didn't seem like it at the time after they tied up, went to OT, but it made the difference in this game. If you make that extra point, if that goes cleanly, that last kick. I mean, listen, we don't know what happened after that, but assuming that everything else goes how it went, that last kick would have been for the win. So it's just when you're leaving points on the board, and not even offensively, like teams who leave points on the board offensively in terms of not getting touchdowns in the red zone, as long as their kicking game is solid, they can kind of work around it. They can work through those problems. But it can't be the other way around. Your offense can't stall out in the red zone, and then your kicking game is so piss poor that you have no chance of scoring any points. And that's the problem with the Rams. The Rams, quite literally, right now, are where they are because they are touchdown or bust. If they don't get a touchdown, they're not scoring at all. So, and then it's not just a touchdown because we automatically assume, automatic 7 points. No, it's 6 plus the extra point. So, so when you're not even getting the extra point, now you're only saving grace is if you can score 6 points on every drive. Because if you can't, you're going to be behind a lot of games. So they need to get the special teams figured out, the kicking game figured out, because if they don't, their season's going to be over by like week 10. So
yeah, that's how crucial this is. Like, you 3-2, hell, they could have beat the Eagles, right? Yeah. Probably should have. Like, that's another win there. That's just an example.
Like, those 2 losses were because of special teams. That's what it came down to. Those 2 losses were special teams losses. They should be 5-0. Like, and that takes a lot for me to say, because I love how, because obviously I'm going to say, my team came back well in the second half, which we did, but that game was won because of 2 blocked kicks, and then this game was won basically because of a blocked extra point. I think not just blocked. Didn't he also miss another one before that?
I think so. Yeah.
So, yeah, he also kicked. Oh, yeah, that's another thing I forgot tonight. On the kickoff, kicked it well short of the landing zone. That was a penalty.
Like, yeah, in right to start overtime. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and listen, that's gonna get a lot of attention. But you know what else is not? We're gonna blame Cardi for that. But they just put up a stat on the screen. Since 2023, Kyren Williams has 7 fumbles. 7 fumbles lost.
Missed field goal in the third quarter as well for the Rams, by the way. Yeah, continue on Kyren, because this is definitely a concern.
Yeah, 7 fumbles lost since 2023. I think I said that, they said that was the most among running backs in the league in the last 2 years. Like, that can't happen either. His ball security, if there's 2
in the red zone, you win the game if he doesn't fumble.
And you know what's funny? Most of his fumbles, like in his career, have come in the red zone. I don't understand why. I mean, I know it gets tight down there, but you've got to hang on to the ball better because you cost your team. Honestly, listen, the game ended up going to OT, but you cost your team. I mean, we talk about the field goal kicking in and the special teams, but if he doesn't fumble the ball there, the Rams run that clock out and they probably win the game. They score a touchdown there and the game's over. So, like, you cannot have these simple, just fixable mistakes. This is 2 games you've lost because you've had too many just correctable mistakes. And I mean, in practice, if McVay doesn't hammer this home in practice with the special teams and with ball security drills, if they come out next week looking like this, I think their season's over. I don't care how early it is. If you come out, you start off 3-0, and then if you lose 3 straight because of your just incompetence and poor play, I'm sorry, that's a team that can't win a Super Bowl. Because Super Bowl winning teams don't have.
They're not a Super Bowl contender. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention, I was looking. I wanted to take some time, so I just did right now to look back at these games here for the Rams, starting against your Eagles. Puka Nacua, 11 receptions for $112, no touchdowns on 15 receptions. Adams, 3 receptions, 56 on 8. Kyren had 2 of 3. Whittington, 2 of 3. So again, 11 receptions to Adams is 3. Then in week 4 against the Colts, let's see here. Against the Colts, we have Puka Nacua, 13 for $170 and a touchdown. 2-2, 1 reception for 88. That was the game winner, basically. Adams only had 4 for 56 and a touchdown. And then tonight it was more of the same. It was, let's see here. It was Devontae had 5 for 88, no touchdowns. Puka 10 for 85 and a touchdown. Kyren had 8 for 10 for 2 touchdowns. But still, you're not going to see Kyren get the ball that much out of the backfield. Tutu with 2 for 72. Devontae's not getting involved. It's really the Puka show for the receivers, and that's kind of an issue. It's kind of a problem right there.
Yeah. Yep. It's bad. You know, you can't. The best offenses in the league can spread it around among their entire, supporting cast. When you are so reliant on one player to basically be your offense, you're just not going to win games like that. You're not.
No.
Puka, no matter how good Puka is, you cannot games when he's getting basically 15 targets and the other guys are getting 5 or less. It feels like it's just not. That's not a good game. It's not a good game plan, and that's not smart football. Like the best teams and the ones that have the best offenses, or at least the best offenses when they have to have it, you will always see it. They always spread the ball around. They always take care of the football, and they always make sure to get everybody involved. Everybody gets a turn, kind of thing. Or hell, it might not even be in the same game. You might have one week where Puka goes off, but next week, it shouldn't be Puka for like 4 straight games. It should be like
Puka, you have Devontae Adams. You have Devontae.
Yeah. Like I don't understand why they don't throw him in the. And the thing is, it's not like he's being really locked up. A lot of these games, he's open. They're just not giving him the. They're just not. They're not really. They're just not considering him a part of the offense. I don't know why. Watching this offense, like Higbee's not the best tight end in the world, but Higbee's a good tight end. Get him the ball more. He should be getting the ball more. Kyren Williams, you want to limit the turnovers? Well, you do that. Get Kyren Williams instead of trying to make him a bell cow because he's a small, undersized running back. Use his speed and his athleticism and put him out more in the receiving game. They don't do that enough either. You can't, especially with his ball security, like I'm saying, with the ball security issues, you can't have a guy like that continually try to run between the tackles or bounce it outside or try to fight through defenders when he can't hang on to a football. You've got to get him plays where he can just catch the ball in space and get a first down or go down out of bounds or whatever it is. Like something different you're doing right now. It's not working. That was a big problem, and I'm starting to notice it now with McVay. We always talk about Shanahan not making adjustments, and to be fair, tonight he really didn't, and he still didn't. It was kind of just the Rams not making adjustments that tilted this game in favor of the Niners. So, you can't be considered an offensive genius. I mean, listen, one of these guys has a ring, one doesn't. But you can't be considered such a great, innovative offensive genius if this is how you're going to call your offense. You can't. It has multiple weapons that they've gone to. With Brady, it could be. I know Wes Welker didn't win. Wes Welker played in playoff games. It was Wes Welker, Randy Moss didn't win when it was Randy Moss, or it was Gronk, or it was, I hate to say his name, but the murderer, Aaron Hernandez. It was always somebody that could take a turn with that team. Or you get to the Chiefs dynasty, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. The last few years, a couple games with Pacheco, a couple games where Juju had a big game. They knew how to figure it out. Like Tyquan Thornton a couple weeks ago. They figure out ways to get it done. And then you get to, or hell, even I'll say it, even for us, even for Philly, every guy in the playoffs, gets a turn for Philly. AJ, Smith, Goddard, Saquon, Jalen can take it with his legs. What do all these teams have in common? They spread the ball out and they beat you different ways. The Rams don't do that, and the Niners don't do that. But specifically the Rams in this game, because they lost tonight, they don't do that. They're force-feeding one guy when they have a multitude of talent on the offense. And when you're so focused on just feed Puka, eventually you're going to come across a team where Puka's not going to be open. There's going to be a game where Puka doesn't have a good game. Who's your other options? If you don't have a plan B other than feeding Puka, which is your plan A, what are we doing here? Then you might as well just pack up the season, because it's not winning football. It's not. You have to find different ways, creative ways to get your other guys involved in this offense, and not just get them involved, but like figure out how to also mask the weaknesses of some of these guys. Like, maybe Devontae at this point, Devontae Adams is not the fastest guy in the world. He is older, but scheme him open somehow, or have him work with Stafford on like, hey, like tonight they had a miscommunication in a big moment in this game tonight. Where, hell, I even said it before Kirk Herbstreit said on the broadcast. Stafford put that ball in a perfect spot. Devontae Adams kept running a route towards the middle of the field. There was no reason to. If he just sat down where he was, it would have been a perfect throw. Like, it's those little things. It's the miscommunication. It's the ball security. It's the force feeding of one. It's the one guy that they're relying on. Like, all that stuff is how your offense becomes one-dimensional. And what happens to one-dimensional offenses by the end of the season? They end up ranking last in the league, and they end up just completely fizzling out if they make the playoffs. It ends up being ugly. And this, so far, it's turning ugly through 5 weeks.
Yeah. For the Niners, I mean, I don't know what much is there to talk about other than Mac Jones and this offense, because this team just isn't healthy right now. So we don't know what they're going to look like next week. Through 10 days. We just don't know.
And so now, I mean, Mac Jones is playing well enough to win. So it's like, like I saw people saying, "Oh, there's a quarterback controversy." No, there's not. It's gonna be Brock Purdy when it comes back.
We need to relax on that.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, Mac Jones is having good games, but they're not. It's not like a Super Bowl winning performance. So it's like, that's, you have to stick with your franchise quarterback who got you to a Super Bowl, who helped get you to a Super Bowl. So, it's not going to be Mac, even though he's, but system just seems to work. Jimmy G is worked out for a while. Purdy, Mac Jones, Sam Darnold for like 2 games that he played there. They fixed him. They got him right. So, like, there's something that they're doing right over there. It works so well as long as you're healthy. They're never healthy. That's the biggest bugaboo with the Niners, besides their lack of adjustments. They're never healthy. So I don't care if they go freaking, 12-2 through 14 weeks or something like that. It won't matter, because if you're not healthy, especially come playoff time, you will not win in the playoffs.
You're not going to survive. Yeah.
No, and the thing is, they're surviving these injuries, but like I said, they're not winning games convincingly either. Like, yeah, they're 4-1, but none of these games are blowouts. None of them are good-looking games. So, they're winning, honestly. I mean, it's just a couple things. Just a little bit of luck, because every team needs that, but especially for them with their injuries, it literally is just a little bit of luck for them. And it's just, kind of being scrappy, being like tough, not willing to go down. But that's good, and that's great, and that's, all heart and all that stuff. That's a good story, but that's just not going to win you a Super Bowl. It's not going to win you a playoff game even. So, as far as I know, I mean, from what we saw tonight, quite frankly, with either of these teams, I right now, through 5 weeks, I don't care what the record says, I'm not impressed with either of them. I'm just not.
Honestly, the best team in that division is the Seahawks. right now.
Yeah, right now, yeah, right now, yeah, it is the Seahawks. They're the only ones playing good on both sides of the ball. They're not
And
scoring.
spreading the ball around, unlike the Rams.
Yeah, like and that's where we're gonna find out, what the Seahawks are made of, later in the season as we go through the season too. Like, I see people freaking out about
That
all the
game against
Niners
the
are.
Bucks is going to be great.
Yeah, like we're gonna find out what they're, but if they still look good, even if they lose that game, if they still look good against the Bucks, like good enough, I would still put them as the best in that division right now. So I because it's just these two teams, the Niners and the Rams. I feel like we know what they are. Look at this, San Fran. All 5 games this season decided by one score, and that's not because they've won the games. It's because the other teams have basically lost those games. So you know, I I don't look at this team and go. My God, man, look at the Niners' upcoming schedule. Like, you got the Buccaneers next week, but your next 3 games are just charity cases. It's the Falcons, Texans, and Giants. Come on, man. Like,
We're not going to learn anything
that's
from
ridiculous.
those.
No. So, like, they could be 7-2 through after that stretch. I still don't care about the Niners if they're 7-2 because we're not learning anything. So, like, the Niners to me don't. I think that they could survive a playoff run if they get there, which they probably should. But if they get there, the only way they can survive is if they won the 1 seed. Because if they don't get the 1 seed and they have to play a wild card game, I don't think that they would survive all the way to the NFC Championship game. They have to have the 1 seed because of the rest plus the home field advantage. So if they don't get the 1 seed, I feel like then it doesn't matter what the Niners do, honestly.
The Rams as well. The Rams have the Ravens in Baltimore. We don't know how Lamar looks. He hasn't practiced all week. Jacksonville in London. Bye week after that. Then the Saints. Then the 49ers and Seahawks. So,
Mm.
I mean, it's like I'm not going to learn much about the Rams either.
We won't know anything about them pretty much. We won't know anything about this, like fully about this division until we get to probably Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was just going to say Thanksgiving probably. And we know the Cardinals suck, so we're not worried about them here.
I'm not. Yeah, that's done. I don't care there.
Okay. What do you got for game of the week here?
Oh man. Let me look at it. Let me pull it up.
Let's go Lions Bengals.
Oh Lord.
Just kidding. For me, and I think you might agree with me here. I mean, the Commanders, Jane Daniels is coming back. I'm gonna go Bucs Seahawks, honestly. I think if we're not, because I think that game's gonna tell us a lot about both teams, especially if Seattle makes it close. The Bucs are also dealing with a lot of 1 point or 1 score game situations as well, so I like that.
Yeah, I like Bucs Seahawks a lot, and I mean the Bucs are pissed. They lost a close game to Philly. They could have won. And the Seahawks are looking to keep pace with the Niners in this division. So I think so. And then you guys got a home field advantage, which helps. Like Commanders Chargers could be fun, but there's no Terry McLaurin, so I don't think that game matters.
Yeah, and again, Jaden's back from injury, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but we won't know how that looks until he actually plays that game. So, because he could come out and not look like the same Jaden Daniels. So, yeah, I think I agree with you. I think Seahawks Bucs is probably I think that's the game of the week.
Yeah, Even with the national games, which are rough for pot cookies, I'm taking Vikings Browns. What are we? This is our London game. This is what we're serving up to international audiences.
Doesn't surprise me.
Dylan Gabriel's first start doesn't intrigue me that much, even on national TV. It really doesn't.
Yeah, and I only have an interest in this game because this is my former college quarterback going against my former Eagles quarterback. So, I only have interest in seeing which quarterback plays a better game. But, yeah.
What happens to Shedeur Sanders if Dylan Gabriel is incredible?
Well,
not that that's necessarily likely. I just had that thought.
I mean, if Dylan does well, if Dylan does bad and Shedeur then really starts running his mouth, then they're going to have to probably play Shedeur at some point just to see what they have. But if Dylan does well, at least shows flashes, then Shedeur, listen, he's a late round pick. They can just get rid of him after this year pretty much. So,
yeah, they can just cut him whenever.
So honestly, if Dylan does well, they're probably going to cut Shedeur.
And people saying that Shedeur has trade value, I don't think he has any.
I don't think he has any.
What trade value does he have?
And what offense would he really be able to run? We don't know that yet. We don't, because we haven't seen him. We don't if he was as
would Cincinnati trade for Shedeur? No.
Here's one thing too that I always tell people: if he was as good as he says he is, and if he was as good as people keep saying he is, why didn't he beat Dylan Gabriel out for the second quarterback spot in camp?
Yeah, why is he the emergency quarterback?
Yeah,
still, by the way.
Yeah, still. Why? Because for all his talk, he can't be that good if you didn't beat Dylan Gabriel out in camp. So, because we kept saying, both those guys were, Dylan Gabriel was their third rounder, and Shedeur came later. So it's these guys aren't like a first or even high second round pick. Both these guys are pretty much on even footing. And so if Shedeur didn't beat Dylan Gabriel out, then what does that tell you? So we'll see what. And if Dylan Gabriel impresses, anything is Dylan Gabriel, as I said before, Dylan Gabriel has the qualities that you would look for in a starter, even if he's not, even if his play isn't. I'm just saying his intangibles, his stuff that his just says the right thing, the IQ, doesn't take many risks. Shedeur's more of the flashy, athletic guy, but Dylan's more of the prototypical NFL kind of quarterback. It's two different styles of quarterbacking, but the thing is, Dylan Gabriel is saying and doing the right things, and that's why he's earning this start. So, that's kind of where I'm at with that whole mess. But besides that game, you don't think Giants Saints is pot cookies?
I'm excited about Dart though.
But even if Dart does good, what are you gonna learn about him from him beating the Saints?
That is fair, but the excitement's pretty palpable. It's pretty good, especially when, to be honest, I think the Saints probably should have drafted him.
Yeah. Because I don't see how you could look at your quarterback situation in New Orleans and think that any of those guys were better than Dart. That's insanity.
Yeah. Titans Cardinals is pretty rough. Lions Bengals, I think, deserves massive consideration because
that line has to be massive.
Do you want to guess it?
Oh, Scoop's not here, so it doesn't hurt me. That's got to be huge. I know the game's in Cincy, but the Bengals are not good. I don't care that the Bengals are home. That to me, that doesn't matter. This line should be massive. This should be like Lions minus 9.5.
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
Lions minus 10.5.
Oof. Yeah, it's about right.
Yeah. So who are you taking? Are you taking Giants Saints for pocket case?
Just to be different, I think I will because honestly, there's still some stuff to like there. I think like the you know the Vikings are still staying overseas, so it's still an overseas game, even though it's crappy. But we're gonna see what Carson Wentz does because Carson Wentz will look like crap again against a crappy Steelers defense. So he's gonna
The
probably
only
look
the
like
only
crap.
thing that's interesting about that game is Gabriel. Like that's where it kind of.
But that's what I like. I want to see what Dylan Gabriel does, and I want to see if the Vikings defense can kind of bounce back from getting killed by DK and Kenneth Gainwell. So I uh, I guess that's the only thing because I'm really not that interested. I mean, I don't know if it's just the NFC East rivalry, but I'm not interested in Dart. like because it's and I don't think it's like I don't think it's not because I'm not interested. I think it's just because that I'm not gonna learn. I will learn more about Gabriel facing the Vikings defense and Brian Flores defense than I will from Dart against literally a poverty organization in the Saints. So like
Yeah.
I think that's why. I think like they're close. The games are close, but I think it's just a little bit lower for me that Giants Saints game, especially
Yeah.
with no Malik Neighbors.
Oh
So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, then let's do guess the line on Giants Saints.
I mean, they just played the Bills tough, but I mean, like I said, those two teams are so evenly matched because they're both crap. um, but the Giants do look better overall. So I'm gonna say Giants minus 2.5.
Saints minus 1.5.
I don't know. I mean, it's close to a pick 'em, but I don't know how you could favor the Saints at all in that game.
No, not at all. Texans Ravens, dude. I don't even know what to do with this game because I'm still waiting on Lamar. Like I don't even want to do the line because I have no idea what's happening with that. I
I
would
think they
assume
put.
he's out.
Yeah, I would assume he's out too. So if he's out, then that's got to be probably what Baltimore -1.
Texans minus 2.5 currently.
I
I'm
don't even know.
honestly still debating taking the Texans. In our pick'em, I took the Ravens, and I'm still debating switching it.
Yeah, I'm on the fence too because I can't see how they're going to just force feed Derrick Henry the entire game and win. I don't think they can.
Yeah, I don't think they can either. The other thing with CJ, he said, "I feel like I'm getting old. I'm not as quick as I used to be." That was CJ Stroud today.
Yeah, what a day before his 24th birthday? Really? Like,
What?
I don't get. Like, listen, I hope he said that as a joke. I hope he actually wasn't serious. Um, because like if you're actually serious about that, it's like, come on, man. You're barely entering your prime. Like like a prime for a quarterback in their mid 20s to early 30s. So it's like you're barely entering your prime, and you're saying that. I don't know. And you know what though? You know what it
It's
could be, but why he could be saying that? He's been taking a beating back there. So
that is true. That is very very true. Yeah,
so it's possible.
possible. Buccaneers Seahawks. What's your line
Oh,
here?
I mean, that's got. I mean, listen, the Seahawks have home field advantage. Uh, I'm gonna go with the home team. I'm gonna say Seahawks. I'm gonna say Seahawks -2.5.
Minus 3.5 Seahawks.
I
Stop
think
being
that's
a
a little
point
high,
off. No,
but I think it's a little high.
I
I
also
don't.
think it's a
I
little
don't
high. I think it is a little high as well.
Yeah, I don't see how that's three. I really don't see how that's 3.5.
Broncos Eagles.
Oh,
Did you
come on.
see
We
this
got to
one
be fair.
already?
No.
Okay.
The only one I saw was this game tonight. Um,
Yeah, which was Niners 8.5. So whoever did that, congrats. Or excuse me, Rams when I say 8.5. Yeah, congrats whoever took Niners plus.
I mean, because we're at home and because we're undefeated and because the Broncos just don't look. I mean, they won, but they don't look great. I mean, I think it's got to be a little bit on the higher side. I'm gonna say Eagles minus 4.5.
Eagles minus 3.5. 1 point off again.
I don't see because they only favored us by I think 3 or 3.5 to beat the Bucks. So
Mm-hmm.
The
Which I thought
Broncos are
that
not
made sense.
the Broncos are not the Bucks. Like the Bucks are a way tougher team than the Broncos are right now. So I don't. That's why I went a little bit higher because I'm like, there's no way. I don't see that at all.
Um, Last one, Sunday night, Patriots Bills.
Oh my god, that's got to be a massacre.
We better record early on that on Sunday.
But you know
That
what?
game's stupid.
Because it's a division game, I'm not gonna go something super crazy. But I'm still gonna go super high. But it's not gonna be like the highest of the year. But I'm gonna say Bills minus 10.5.
Bills minus 7.5.
That's it. How is it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the magic. I don't have the magic this year like I did last year. I don't know why I can't figure it out. It doesn't.
All
The
right,
lines don't.
I'll give you one more. It's Titans Cardinals.
That's probably not that big of a difference because I mean I know Titans suck, but so do the Cardinals. Um. And the Cardinals are home, right?
Yep.
Cardinals minus 3.5.
Cardinals minus 7.5.
I don't care who the Cardinals are facing. They have no right to be over a touchdown more than the team they're facing. I don't care if it's the Titans, the Saints. I don't care if it's a college team. The Cardinals have no right to be any more than a touchdown more than the team they're facing. No
Okay,
way.
I'll give you one more. Monday night, Chiefs at Jags.
Because oh god. I mean, Vegas loves the Chiefs. They should favor the Chiefs. The Chiefs have just won 2 in a row. But the Jags are hot too. So I don't know. I would say it's like it matters. Um, I don't think it's gonna be that high. I don't think it's gonna be really that much of a difference. I'm gonna say I'll say Chiefs minus 2.5.
Chiefs minus 3.5.
My God.
Yeah. Before we talk about the Yanks, do you want to talk about some WNBA?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you want to listen to all 4 minutes of this disgusting thing?
Probably not the whole 4 minutes, but just like I would say,
just
find
highlights.
like the most important.
Yeah, let's do some highlights here. All right, here was Nafisa Collier in her exit interview for the Minnesota Lynx.
The best players in the world, with the best fans in the world, but right now we have the worst leadership in the world. I will not stand quietly by and allow different standards to be applied at the league level. Thank you. The real threat to our league isn't money, it isn't ratings, or even missed calls, or even physical play. It's the lack of accountability from the league office. The real threat to our league. Since I've been in the league, you've heard the constant concerns about officiating, and it has now reached levels of inconsistency that plague our sport and undermine the integrity in which it operates. Year after year.
Okay, I'm trying to find the big one that everyone's talking about, which was essentially the commissioner told Nafisa that Caitlin Clark should be lucky she's making $16 million in endorsements and everything else because it's because of the WNBA that she's making all that money.
That's just like, listen, I'm not even a WNBA fan, but that's so horrific. See, like, first of all, that's horrific to say already as a fan. Not the
freaking commissioner.
Like, that's already horrific as a fan. The fact that the commissioner said it to her face, and like honestly, when you say something like that, I don't care how many bad commissioners there have been in the history of sports, that woman is by far the worst person in a position of power in sports, in probably sports history.
Yeah, here's Kathy Egelberg on Caitlin Clark. This is what she told Nafisa. And I quote, Caitlin Clark should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court because without the platform the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't be making anything.
She was literally one of the highest paid college players like ever.
Yeah, did we just forget Iowa? Did we just forget that ever happened?
Yeah, she was already famous like literally like a year and a half, 2 years before she came into the league. So like to say that is already wrong. Not just the fact that it's a horrible thing to say. It's wrong. And second of all, it's just you're saying that about the players that you're supposed to be protecting. You're supposed to be defending. You're supposed to be uplifting and helping grow the game
and representing
and help them grow the game. Like, so the fact that you just not only put your own player down, but you literally said to the entire pretty much, and it's like I don't know how you could say that and think that wouldn't get out or come back to bite you. How stupid of a human being do you have to be to say some dumb shit like that and think that, and especially in your position of power, and think that won't come back to you? Like, how stupid of a human being do you have to be?
The thing is, it really does, Brandon, sound like a Twitter troll saying that. Kinda.
That's what when you sent that in the chat, I figured that somebody on Twitter said that. Then when I found out it was the freaking league commissioner, I was like, "Are you serious? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I've never in my life, like, I've heard of coaches, and I've already said this last week about you know like Antonio Pierce throwing guys under the bus, and then we had Brian Callahan throwing the Titans under the bus, and then throwing Will Levis under the bus last year. I was already critical of those decisions. This is by far the worst sports quote I think I've ever heard of all time. Are you just brain dead? That you are actually saying something like that, and like
to a fellow player.
And it wasn't like she said it like in a private setting, like in her own office, or she said it to like one of her colleagues, or no, you said it to a player. None of it makes any sense. It just doesn't. I want to know what drugs she was taking to say that, because like it doesn't make any freaking sense to literally the face of your sport. It's already bad to say it about any player, but you threw the face of your sport under the bus that horrifically for and not even like Caitlin Clark deserves it, because she doesn't. But I could maybe understand if this was somebody that was breaking rules in the league or what have you and all that stuff, but she's the face of your sport. She's bringing any kind of revenue in that the NBA does get, that the WNBA does get.
Yeah.
And you throw her under the bus for no reason? What do we do? Like, no matter which way you slice this, you could slice this thing 10 different ways. It's all wrong, and it's all beyond wrong. So, what goes through your mind, not just as a commissioner, what goes through your mind as a human being to make you say something that's quite literally the most bullshit take of all time? What goes through your mind? Anything? Is there anything in there? Like, I can't. I don't understand.
This is worse than Rob Manfred. This is definitely. This is. Wait, please tell me. This is worse than Rob Manfred saying the World Series is just a cup. This is much worse.
Oh, it's far worse. And I hate Rob Manfred, but it's far worse than that. Like, you know, like I don't get how you can be a commissioner of a league, and they all work to make this league or try to make this league as best as it possibly can be. And no matter what you feel of a commissioner, they're all trying to make the most of it. Clearly, this woman isn't, because you literally. I mean, in some ways, you're lucky. Like there's two sides to this. The one side is you saying this actually brings people's attention to the WNBA even more now because of this blasphemous take you just had. And the fact that you're a commissioner, so it brings you publicity. The problem is, so it brings you exposure. The problem is, it brings you the wrong publicity and the wrong exposure. So, like, I just, it's one thing to want to get eyes on the game, but this is not how you do it. If that's what she was trying to do.
The other thing is, so Nafisa Collier is the leader of the WNBA PA. And part of this presser was pretty intentional because after the WNBA finals, guess what? They're going back to the negotiation table. We have a CBA. And I assume Kathy Egobert, I'm sorry if I'm saying the name wrong, whatever, I assume she said this like during the season or a few months ago.
Yeah.
But still, like, the first thing that's going to happen in the CBA is that she's getting ousted. She's getting ousted.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way.
Like, that's what I don't get. Is like, when you're in that position that she's in, like I'm saying, what goes through your mind to say something like that? Like I don't care if it's somebody you despise. Like, the fact that you went out of your way to attack the face of your sport, not just and the fact that it was such a horrific, like, there are bad sports takes that we hear in the media every day. Like, that is the worst sports comment of all time. Of all time.
Nothing beats it. Like, we're not being hyperbole. Nothing beats it.
If you could find me something worse than that, I would be shocked. I'd be completely shocked if you could find me something worse than that bullshit she just said.
I want to find Kathy's response, because it was honestly just as bad.
Who even cares what the response is? It wouldn't even matter if she apologized.
I have this is what she, and by the way, she did this as a press release. So I don't know what that says. Let's see. I'm trying to get it here. I have the utmost respect for Nafisa Collier and for all of the players in the WNBA. I'm not so sure about that. Together, we have all worked tirelessly to transform the league. My focus remains on ensuring a bright future for the players and the WNBA, including collaborating on how we continue to elevate the game. She didn't respond to it at all. She just said the most basic thing ever. And then the other part is I am disheartened by how Nafisa Collier characterized our conversations and league leadership. But even when our perspectives differ, my commitment to the players and to this work will not waver. That is the most.
What do you mean? Like that's the most. First of all, that's the most cookie cutter statement ever.
And it's again, no presser, no nothing, just a press release.
It shows how insincere she is about even just making that statement. The fact that she wouldn't even show face on it. So, like, I like, that tells you the kind of awful human being she already is. Just like, you like, okay, so it's like you already did something that basically was basically going to get you kicked out of the league. The least you can do is own up to it and admit that you spoke out of turn. But no, now you're paying this on Nafisa, saying that like, I'm just hard by what she said. She's right.
She mischaracterized our conversations, quote unquote. Mischaracterized,
but there is literally an actual proof that she said that about Caitlin Clark. Like, does that make any sense to anybody? Mischaracterized. They have you they caught your ass in 4K. They call you in Ultra 4K HD.
We're obviously going to trust Nafisa's statement if that's your response. Like, of course we are.
Like, she's not like, it wouldn't make sense for Nafisa to have a personal vendetta against you and make up a quote like that. Like, a quote like that about Caitlin Clark could not be made up.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. 100%. No way.
So like I don't understand how you can then say it was mischaracterized. It's like, they literally caught you red-handed and you're still trying to deny it. It's like,
you're not even really denying it. You're just being, as you said, you're just being cookie cutter.
Like that's like you're literally being caught with your hand in the cookie jar and with crumbs all over your face and a mouthful of cookies, saying, "Oh, I didn't take anything out of the cookie jar." Like, well, not saying that she was denying it, but then to turn around, like, I mean, to be caught red-handed and then to try to blame this is like cheating on your spouse and blaming your spouse for the reason that you cheated. Like, no, it's your fault. Own up to it. Like she's saying, oh, she mischaracterized our conversations. You told her that. You told her. You said it to her face.
Like, you said it to the leader of the Players Association. What, she wasn't going to say anything?
Yeah. Like, it wasn't like you told like your husband. It wasn't like you told a friend of yours when you're out for drinks. Like, no, which already is a bad look on you if that would have been the case instead. But you told it to a high-ranking official in the league
and one of the best players in the league, anyway.
Like, yes, like none of that. Like, it's just, it gets worse and worse the more you think about it.
It's so bad.
What she said, it literally just gets worse.
And it's not. And by the way, let's put this into perspective as well. Everybody who has heard this, like the players, have been like, yeah, if she said it, I believe her. We're standing by Nafisa. Everyone said that.
Yeah.
Everybody. And then the other aspect of it is kind of what leads into Nafisa making the statement in her exit interview. The officials have been shit. Absolute dog shit. And it's a huge problem. It's massive. It's gigantic. And all they're doing at the league office, all the commissioner's office is doing is, here's a fine, here's a fine, here's a fine, here's a suspension. You're not addressing it. You're just saying anyone who complains, get a fine, get a suspension. What?
I mean, it's the same thing in the men's game when we see guys go up to the press conference and they're heated after a loss and they're like, this official sucked. We lost the game because of one call. It's like,
that's happening. But that's happening every day. That's happening every day in this league in the flipping playoffs. The finals are starting tomorrow. What if it happens in the finals? What, are you going to suspend and fine people if it happens in the finals?
It's going to be under, like, those games in the series are going to be under such a microscope. These players are already under enough pressure. Now it's going to be even worse because now everybody's going to be looking at this stuff. So it's just painting such a big bullseye on this league's back. Mind you, this is a league that it couldn't survive on its own without the NBA's money and time put into this. Like, this is already, like, they're already on thin ice. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, they're making money because of the superstars that apparently the commissioner doesn't approve of. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like, could you imagine if Rob Manfred came out tomorrow and said, "Oh yeah, Shohei Ohtani's a degenerate gambler and Aaron Judge is taking steroids"? Like, could you imagine if they said something like that? Because that's basically the equivalent of saying that Caitlin Clark is basically a nobody because we made her. It's like, it's like, come on, man. You're not gonna throw your star players under the bus. And it's like, if you have a problem with that player, you address it to that player in private. Because honestly, it sounds like she has a problem with Caitlin Clark. I don't know what that problem is.
It sounds like she has a problem with every single player and coach in the league.
I mean, I don't know as close as you do, but
well, here's the thing. If you're fining every player and coach about commenting about the officiating and whatever else you're commenting on, you have a problem with every single player in that league. And guess what? When we get to the negotiation table, when we get to the CBA next month, have fun. You're not gonna have a job for long.
Yeah, and then where's she gonna work? Like,
no idea.
You know, it's. I mean, she dug her own grave. She's got to lay in it now.
Yeah.
So
it's again, as you said, it's good riddance. As you said, it's probably the stupidest thing we've ever heard in sports by far. So stupid. It's so dumb. All right, let's get to something more fun. Well, honestly, time out stupid people in sports is pretty fun. It very much is. Let's talk some Major League Baseball. Let's start with your Yankees against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I mean, just to get there, especially after how Game 1 against the Sox ended, everybody was in shambles. Everybody was like, nope, there's no way we can take the next 2 from the Sox. There's no way it'll happen. They've got our number, yada, 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 And honestly, I believed it too. I mean, even people who are the most positive Yankee fans believed that there was no way we were going to take 2 straight games from the Sox. Like, it just, we didn't think it would happen. I mean, then, last night, seeing the team get energized, get fired up, and win that game, Jazz with two game defining plays. The play at second to save a run, and then to ultimately come around to score from first and fly around the bases to score that run that basically then ended up being the game-winning run to hang on 4-3. Fernando Cruz, pumping his chest, beating his chest, telling the fans to get hype, looking like he was on something, if you know what I mean. Getting so hype. And then you get to tonight, and tonight, I don't think it's crazy to say. I mean, listen, we're only in our mid-20s, but that's the greatest pitching performance I have ever seen. That's one of the greatest pitching performances of all time from Cam Schlittler.
As a rookie in the postseason, to play that well.
Put it this way. People might hear me say that, oh, that's the great thing, one of the greatest pitching performances ever, in the whole history of this league. When you think about it, it is. Schlittler grew up a Red Sox fan. His family's a bunch of Red Sox fans. He's pitching for the New York Yankees in the Bronx against his childhood team in a do-or-die elimination game, and he's got the weight, the pressure of the wild card history being against the Yankees, this whole 0-for-12 thing or whatever it is about, teams that lose the first game don't win the series. And then you've got, on top of all that, it's just, he is quite literally, I mean, he had a great rookie season coming up in that second half of the season, sub-3 ERA. We knew how good he was. And to also come into that game and know that you have to be almost perfect to win it, and he was. And then not just perfect, but he struck out 12 batters. Every inning he was on fire. And not for nothing, but you just broke a curse. Like, it wasn't as long as the Red Sox curse when they beat the Yankees in 2004, but you just broke a 22-year-old curse of the Red Sox beating the Yankees in the postseason. Like when you add all those things together and all that pressure for a rookie pitcher to make his postseason debut in front of a raucous crowd like that, and with quite literally the season and fate and destiny pretty much on the line, that is one of the greatest pitching performances in MLB history. It's not a debate, and honestly, it worked out for the Yankees. They won 4-0. They went to Bednar in the ninth, but Cam Schlittler could have pitched that ninth inning, and he probably would have went 9 innings. He probably would have had a complete game shutout, and it would have been even greater. But to give 8 shutout innings and only give up 5 hits through 8 innings, 12 Ks, no earned runs, and not a single walk, that, like, you can't find a better game in terms of when you add the stuff I just mentioned with all the pressure and all the history of this matchup and what went into this game. You cannot find me, at least not in modern history in the last 40 years, you can't find me a better pitching performance ever. And to feed off that energy, to then win the series over your heated rivals, to have a day off before you start the ALDS on Saturday, is massive. It cannot be understated how important that game was tonight. It was important for Boston too, but it was more important for the Yankees given the history.
Yeah.
And they had to have it, and they got it. And that's a performance, and not just for nothing, not just for shits and giggles, but Cam Schilder earned his Yankee pinstripes tonight. So then, as we go into this series with the Blue Jays, the Yankees are coming in hot. They're coming in fired up, because if you count what they did at the end of the season, and then this postseason series, if you combine those games, I think the Yankees are what? They've won 9 of their last 10, or 10 of their last 11 games. So that's massive. The Yankees are scorching hot. They are white hot coming into this series. And the Blue Jays have been sitting for almost a week. That can make you go ice cold. No matter how good of a team you are, that can make you go ice cold when you have not been playing for a week.
That's why I think every single team, I think Toronto might have as well. That's why he did inter-squad scrimmages this week.
Yeah, but even so, it doesn't simulate what you're going to face against these teams. So it can only do so much to keep you ready, but it's not everything. And honestly, I thought about this as much as I would have wanted the Yankees to win the division. I don't know if it's just me coming down off the high of this game, but I like where the Yankees are right now, having been that hot and won that game tonight, and then going to Toronto, where the pressure's on Toronto to have to win both of those 2 games in Toronto before it goes back to New York. So the Yankees, in theory, just have to split one of those 2 games, and then it gets really fun after that. So I kind of like the position the Yankees are in. The pressure is more so on the Blue Jays, I think. And especially with all the crap they talked about the Yankees towards the end of the season, and all the crap that and technically they were this close to blowing the division to us, and we're this hot right now. The Yankees have the advantage in this series, not Toronto. So, to Toronto, remember, at the end of the season, this is the same Toronto team that was paranoid that we were going to catch them in the division, and we almost did. So, George Springer was saying, if they want to give New York the division title, just let me know. Like, getting all pissed off. It's like, yeah, we're in your head there, buddy, and that's not where you want us to be. So that not just from a Yankees fan perspective, but that gives the Yankees a big advantage psychologically and physically. It gives you an advantage. So I think that it's going to be a fun series, but I think it goes 5. I don't think it's going to be one of those 3-4 games.
I definitely think it goes 5. Yeah.
It's going to go 5.
Yeah, I think it's going to go 5.
But then I think listen, I know you love your Mariners, but I think the winner of that Yankees Blue Jays series, I think that's the team that's going to go to the World Series.
I agree. I still agree. Tigers, Mariners. We've been talking about this all week. If it was the Tigers, that's the best shot for the Mariners. Mariners win in 4, I think. I wasn't that impressed with the Tigers this week. That offense was rough.
I mean, this game, I get it. They exploded late, but outside of those last inning or the last 3 innings, or the 7th, 8th inning, whatever it was, when they scored all those runs, outside of that 1 inning, what did Detroit really show anybody to prove that they can go all the way?
Not much.
They didn't score. They didn't, like, the Yankees in this series scored 8 runs in 2 games. Detroit didn't score. I mean, they didn't score 8 runs until what? Basically, over 8 runs until the very end of this game today. Like, so the Yankees' offense looks better than Detroit, and not just that. Not only do they look better, but like Detroit. I said this to you on the phone. When it comes to Detroit and the Mariners, Detroit's not going to be pitching their top guys game 1 or probably even maybe even game 2. So, and you guys have the home field advantage. So if you guys can jump on them, because their offense is not that. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the Yankees. It's not the Blue Jays. It's not like it's the best offense in the American League. It's not.
Yeah.
And from what I remember, if my memory serves me correctly, they don't steal a lot of bases.
No,
they're not a good They're not. I think they have the least stolen bases in the MLB this season. So if I think that's true. So if so, I mean, you don't have to worry about Caravalli throwing anybody out. And then at that point, not only do you have to worry about him throwing people out, that makes it easier for him to do his job at the plate. So because then he'll just have to focus on one side of the game more so than both. So, I think that you guys have a pitching staff that matches up very well against theirs.
It's better than
and honestly, I think outside like if you don't count Tariq Skubal, I think overall your pitching staff is better than Detroit.
The only game I can really see the Mariners losing, I don't think this is facetious at all. I think the only game I could see them losing is against Skubal, whenever Skubal pitches.
Yeah. Whether that's game 2 or game 3.
Yeah,
I think so too. But other than that, like I don't see how you could, especially when you guys are at home for those first 2 games. I don't see how you guys could lose either one of those. If he's not pitching, you guys should win both those games.
Yeah,
so
I think absolutely. I think you're 100% correct.
So, and the thing is, if you guys do win both those games, I don't think Detroit's going to take back-to-back at home because they're not going. One of those games is going to have Skubal, the other one's not. So yeah. I don't think it's going to be one of those. I don't think it's going to be one of those things where they're going to then they're going to go home to Detroit and then beat you guys and then go back to Seattle for that 5th game. So, like. I think I'm with you. I think the Mariners probably do get it done in 4. So,
yeah.
But then if you guys get it done, then and if we get it done, you guys would host the CS to start because you guys won the division. So. Which actually I kind of like. So, because honestly, the Yankees being the home team, it a little bit last year with the DS and things like that. But I kind of like the Yankees on the road because the Yankees are a better. I mean, not in extra innings, but the Yankees are a better road team, I think, than they are at home. So, honestly, I think I'd rather be on the road like they are right now.
I think that's fair.
But either way,
I think that series, if we get that series, I'm taking the Yankees in that series. I think that's pretty straightforward. But I think it goes at least 6. Like I think it's a great series.
Yeah, I think that's 6. I think that's 6. There's no way it's gonna be 5. You guys are too good, I think, for that just to go 5. Um, I think it goes 6. Um, and I would just, but I hope we get that series. That's the series that we want. I mean, listen, I said it would be Yankees Cleveland, so Cleveland's already knocked
I
out.
also said
So
Yankees
that's
Cleveland, which again Cleveland
yeah.
messed up. Cleveland
So
should have won that series, but whatever.
yeah, because Cleveland blew game 1 because they had a chance to win it. They literally had Jose Ramirez on third with nobody out, and they didn't score. So Cleveland had their chance to win it, and they blew it. And the thing is, that's all it takes. But the thing is, Cleveland the rest of the series did not hit well, except for what, game 2?
Game 2, so, right at the end, ironically.
Yeah. So you can't win a series when you only have one explosion at the end of a game. Like whether it's a 3-game series, a 5-game series, or a 7-game series.
And again, that matters even more for the Tigers. That matters even more for the Tigers because they did in game 3, but they can't do that against Seattle. That's not a recipe for success. Yeah.
No, but it also matters in game 3 because that's when you needed it the most. And the Tigers had to have it, and they got it.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
So like, it almost feels like what Cleveland did yesterday to force a game 3. It feels like it took a lot out of them to win that game, and then today they just never showed up. So
yeah,
like that's kind of how it felt to me watching the game. But I really hope we get a Yankees Mariners ALCS, and then obviously there's history between the Yankees and Mariners from the 90s.
And 01.
I would love, and 01. So I would love a Yankees Mariners ALCS. I mean, that would not only for us on the show, but that's a match.
We're gonna have to live stream that a bunch of those games because that's gonna be freaking insane.
If it comes to that, which I hope it does. But but then on the flip side, like look at the NL. The NL to me is just, I think that's not as clear.
Yeah, let's start with Cubs Brewers. What do you have in mind there?
I mean, the Cubs are tough, and they did play a really good 2 games in this series to win it. But I don't know. Like
the Cubs don't have a lot of offense either. That was the
one that worries me.
The only series that had really fun offense, other than the Dodgers, but we knew the Dodgers were going to blow the Reds out anyway, so it's not like we cared. Those 2 series, Cubs and Padres, and Detroit and Cleveland, were rough. They were rough watches because there just wasn't much offense.
Yeah, they were boring watches. I fell asleep today during Game 3 of Cleveland and Detroit.
Fair. Honestly.
And then, bro, I fell asleep in like the 3rd, 4th inning. I woke up in like the 7th, like right as they were making that run in the 7th. I'm like, this game is still 1-1? Really? Like, what's going on here? So, like the Cleveland Detroit, and also because the Cleveland Detroit was so early in the day, nobody was paying attention to it. So I think that's also why I just fell asleep. I was like, I don't care about this series.
The schedule's rough. we talked about it. We talked about it on Monday, but even for the DS, the schedule sucks.
It's terrible. It's so bad. But then
really bad.
You get to that NL Cubs Brewers series. I think the Brewers. I know the Cubs are, they broke that curse years ago. They won their World Series, and they've been kind of a postseason team ever since. And they're back in the postseason again. I get the whole thing, but the Brewers have been the best team in the NL all season long, and they never quite relinquished that title. So I don't think that goes 6. I think the Brewers beat them in 5. Oh no, I shouldn't say. I should not mind DS. I think they beat them in 4. I should say.
Yeah, so I think 4 is fair.
I don't think that goes 5. Because the Brewers. I mean, the only way the Cubs could force 5 is if they split. I mean, just like for the Yankees thing, if they split the the first two games, but I can't see them split. I think the Brewers are going to take the first two, then they'll win one, and then the Brewers will finish it in 4.
Like, yeah, I think that's fair. I like that.
Like, I just can't see a world where the Cubs either win it or win it in 5. I just can't. Or even even sweep them or win in 4 or whatever it is. I just can't see it. So I think the Brewers win that one in 4. And the thing is, if the Brewers are who we think they are, they should win it in 4. So,
yeah, the one we wanted, Dodgers Phillies. I'm so excited for this series. I'm so excited.
That's the one I'm going to keep my eyes on the most. Out of all these series, that's the one listen, I'm obviously Yankees, Blue Jays. But
even outside of Yankees, Blue Jays, I'm more excited for Dodgers Phillies. I'm way more excited for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the matchup everybody wanted to see.
And by the way, I will say this really quick. This is the one matchup where I think the Dodgers playing those 2 games against the Reds actually helped them a lot. Like I think that was massive because they smacked them.
It was almost like a get right series for the Dodgers. Yeah. Like listen, it's still a playoff team, but like, come on now, the Reds were not good enough to be a wild card team. Let's be honest. Neither them nor the Mets were. So let's get out of here with that. Like, we always knew the Dodgers were going to take care of business in 2 games and beat the crap out of them, and they did. And so the one question I have is the Phillies pitching staff healthy enough for this series? Because I don't think they are. So that's a little bit concerning. I know that the offense can score. The Phillies do have a decent. I mean, listen, Kyle Schwarber, all those bombs, and him being a great Philly for his tenure. Obviously Bryce Harper, Alec Boehm, and Trey Turner, and all these different guys that are just they're veterans, they're experienced, they're tough. They might not be, they might have started their careers in Philly, but they absolutely embody what Philly is. Tough, gritty, do whatever it takes to win, that kind of blue collar spirit. And I think that carries you a long way, because I think the Dodgers are the, obviously the flashier team. They're the more, obviously, it's LA, bright lights, big city, but I think the Phillies are just it. I know the Phillies have a history of choking come playoff time, but I can't, I think that goes 5.
I think it goes 5 as well.
But I think it goes 5.
I still have the Dodgers. I do. I think they're just more talented all around. But I think it's obvious that goes 5. Do you want to talk about Game 1 specifically with Shohei starting in Game 1?
That's going to be interesting because, I mean, we're really not. That's going to be his first real big pitching test. Listen, he's had some starts under his belt when he came back from the injury and whatnot, but this is the first game where he's going to have to give them some length. And the thing is, we don't know quite necessarily if he can right now. So I think that, I think he'll give them probably 5 innings. I don't think he goes any more than that for that first game.
Yeah, I don't think he goes. I think 5 is fair. I don't think he goes 8 or 7. I don't think so.
He's not going to. I don't think he's not going to pull a Cam Schlittler. And the thing is, if he does go 7, that means that the Dodgers are in good shape to win the damn game. So, and I think that series is going to be contested like from the rip. From the first pitch of that game, I think that game's going to be so tightly contested that I can't see him going more than 5, maybe 5 1/3. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he's gonna finish through 6. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Just can't see it.
Do you have a pick here? What did you do on the bracket? Did you take the Phillies?
Did I?
I'm going to double check.
I mean, I don't care. I'll stick with whoever I picked, but
yeah,
I just don't remember who I picked.
It's tight anyway. Checking right now. Yeah, you took the Phillies. You took the Phillies, and then you took the Brewers after. Because you have Yankees Brewers as your World Series.
Well, yeah, I know who my World Series pick was. Just because I just, it sounds cliche to pick who had the best record in the leagues. You know, the Yankees were tied for the best record in the AL, and the Brewers had the best record in the NL, best record in baseball overall. But that's just how much I think the talent is different. Like, the Yankees have all that talent. They had to play a wild card series, but the Yankees have all that talent to where they can go all the way. The Brewers, you know, they get that bye, yeah, but they have the talent from top to bottom, and they really did a great job all year long. I just can't see, like, the Dodgers took a step back this year. I mean, listen, they still, you know, they still had to play a wild card series, but they did take a step back. They don't quite look the same. Now listen, could they go all the way? Yes, they could, but they don't quite look the same to me that they did last year, where they were just the clear favorite the entire year. And I look at Milwaukee, and people aren't giving Milwaukee enough respect. They had the best record in baseball this year. They had the best record in the NL, and people are still picking Philly and the Dodgers over them. I'm like, I get you have the Dodgers too. I just
like the Dodgers' overall talent. That's the thing. Like, it's cliche, but it's like, bro, yeah.
But the one thing we even saw, you know, last year, talent only gets you so far. It's, can you do the little things, the fundamentals?
Absolutely, and but that's also the thing with the Dodgers too that I'm excited about is, like, you even saw it at points in this Cincinnati series when they're down. It almost doesn't matter how much they're down by. They're like the only team in baseball that I feel that way about. It's like they could be down 5 or 6, it's not going to matter.
The only thing that was scary was watching them almost blow that huge lead that they had last night.
Yeah.
Or was it game one?
It was game one. It was game one. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it? They had like a 10-2 lead or something like that,
and they almost blew
that game. It was bases loaded, like no one out or one out or whatever it was, and you know they quite literally almost let the Reds back. See, that's why I'm saying that seem like they're the same team. Can they score a lot of runs? Of course they can, but it's also the Reds, and they kind of let the Reds come back in that game, which is something that the Dodgers of last year didn't really do.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's where I'm kind of like, you know, I want to think the Dodgers will probably go back, but also, like, I also don't want to see like a Yankees Dodgers again, like a repeat again.
You know who wants it? Fox.
Oh, yeah, I know that. I know they do. But I don't, because I don't trust the Yankees enough to actually win that series this time. But I just think the Brewers, I think, like, for the same reasons why I like Philly over the Dodgers, it's the same reason why I like the Brewers over the Phillies. It's just it's that grittiness, that toughness, that even when they get, like, just like the Dodgers, those two teams can get down in games and come back. Not Philly, I don't think, but Milwaukee can get down in games and come back. They've done it quite a bit this year, especially later on in the season. I mean, they had a stretch late in the season where they lost a few games in a row, but they kind of knew that they were going to lock up the division anyway. I just think it's just something about Milwaukee. And I think Milwaukee is still bitter about their exit last year at the hands of the Mets. I know they're not playing the Mets, but I think they're just pissed that they didn't get as far as they wanted to last year. And I think that's going to help a lot this year too. So, I mean, I like their I'm not in love with their pitching staff, but I like their pitching staff. But I like their hitting. I like that their hitting never goes down quietly. So I don't know. I just like the Brewers out of the NL. I don't know what it is, but I like them a lot.
Yeah. Do you want to do? I know we're not exactly fully. We know the networks, but we're not fully aware of how the Sunday night package is going to be. The new Sunday Night Baseball package, because it's going to be ESPN, NBC, and Netflix in some way, shape, or form. But do you want to do like an overall ESPN Sunday Night Baseball obituary? Because it's essentially done. At least this era of Sunday Night Baseball is done. We kind of talked about kind of what led to this. I mean, a lot of it was Manfred just being upset about just ESPN's overall coverage of baseball. Which led to this, what we're dealing with now with this contract. But did ESPN do well with the Sunday Night Baseball package? And again, we'll see if they're probably going to share it in some way, so it's not like fully done, but them fully having it is over.
Yeah, and it's bittersweet. I think for me, it's pretty bittersweet because growing up, obviously, like I always tell people, baseball was my first love, and that will never change. As much as I'm a diehard for all my sports teams, and I could talk about any sport. I could talk about hockey as much as I can talk about basketball. I can talk about football, obviously, football pod. I can talk about baseball, but growing up, baseball was my first love, and as much as Sunday Night Football meant a lot to me growing up, Sunday Night Football was like the sound that you heard as a kid, where it was like, oh crap, I still have homework to do and it's late at night. There's a football game on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to get ready for school in the morning, but I have football. I want to watch the football game. And, so growing up for me, ESPN and not just Sunday, but when they have Monday night baseball at one point,
some Thursday games every so often.
Some Thursday games,
Fox now has that random Thursday night to somehow compete with Prime, which is kind of stupid, but whatever.
I grew up we did too, but I know you kind of were in and out of it when it came to baseball. But for me, growing up with baseball, hearing John Miller and Joe Morgan call the games for ESPN and having two old school baseball voices, welcome you into the ESPN broadcast. And the thing is, so many of my memories, and this is why it meant a lot to me that we also, that the Yankees beat the Red Sox on ESPN.
The last time ever, the last time of the package is Yankees Red Sox.
Because growing up, I grew up with A-Rod and Derek Jeter and then on the other side, Manny Ramirez and David Ortiz and Josh Beckett and Jonathan Papelbon and Mo, Andy Pettit, Porcelli, those Yankees and those Red Sox hating each other. And a lot of them, they would always keep showing it on ESPN, and hearing John Miller and Joe Morgan call those games and growing up with just the ESPN broadcast of them calling games and hearing those two kind of smooth voices, I don't like the broadcast now, which is that's why I'm saying it's bittersweet, because the broadcasting now for ESPN is terrible. It's god awful.
It was really bad this whole wild card weekend. It was actually pretty bad.
ESPN MLB coverage hasn't been the same since John Miller and Joe Morgan, since their era. That was the last time to me that it was really any good. I think the era before Aaron Boone became Yankee manager, I think that was okay, but then I think it just died once he became Yankee manager. I think then that's the point where it's okay, this is over. This broadcast just sucks now, and I think that I don't like Eduardo Perez. I love David Cohn. I mean, obviously as a Yankee fan, of course I do, but I love David Cohn just as a commentator in general, because he just knows what he's talking about. Especially, obviously as a former great pitcher, World Series champion pitcher. So I think that it's just it won't feel the same for me. As much as I complain that it's ESPN broadcast sucks, and I complain about it tonight too, even. But
I didn't have the audio on for it because I was watching TNF and listening to actual good commentary.
Like when every ground ball and every pop fly in the infield sounds like a gunshot off the bat, that's how you know your broadcast sucks.
By the way, the amount of almost home runs it sounded like on the ESPN broadcast throughout the 3 days.
That's why I'm saying it. How many times did we see a fly ball to like the medium outfield, like halfway in the outfield, and it's like the ball went 450 feet. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, and the thing is too, like the audio would constantly peak, so you'd hear like the freaking, it would sound like on the freaking thing, like whenever they would have.
I had buzzing on my phone, and I thought it was like a phone problem. Did you have buzzing on the Yankees broadcast?
Oh, I mean, I don't even know. Well, I don't know if I'd call it buzzing, but like that static, like when there was too much of a loud audio.
Yeah, like with the crowd, it would like freak out.
Yeah,
yeah.
It would sound like, you know, that kind of like that ear static noise. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking because I was wondering if it was my phone. It was so weird.
And I'm like, man, it doesn't just happen with their MLB broadcast. It happens with all their broadcasts for some reason.
Yeah,
it happens with the NHL too. And I'm like, this sounds awful. And the worst part is like their MLB one is bad enough. The NHL one, like the commentators, you'll see the puck, you'll see the guy shoot the puck, and they're saying, "Oh, it's a goal." And I'm like, the puck hasn't even gotten there yet. Like it's delayed. Like I'm like, what the hell is this? Like I'm like, what the hell I'm watching? So, like, I used to love ESPN as a kid, but ever since kind of like the end of high school, early college, I don't like it. I wish it should be much better than what it is, especially with the technology we have in 2025. It should have been much better than what it is.
Is Apple now we know about Fox and TBS, but is Apple TV better?
What happened? Because you cut out a little bit.
No, I'm saying we know about Fox and TBS and their broadcasts, right? Because they're all over the place. Is Apple TV better than ESPN or no?
Hell no.
No.
Oh my god. If there's one broadcast that sucks more than ESPN, it's Apple TV. Nothing about TV is appealing, not in the slightest. The commentary, the quote unquote sideline reporting, the dugout clubhouse reporting is terrible. I don't think I've never seen someone ask just such basic. Listen, you can only get certain questions in with managers and whatnot, obviously because the game goes fast and things like that. But the questions she asks are so brain dead obvious. I'm like, come on, bro. Like this is like high school reporting. What is this? Like, you know, it's just not good. Listen, more power to her. She's getting paid to do a job. So listen, she's getting paid pretty good money. So I can't fault her. But just hearing that kind of reporting and then hearing the commentary on the broadcast, it makes my ears bleed. I can't stand it. And then there's times where there's been Yankees games. You can actually find like a whole montage of this. There's been like games where they've called players up at bat the wrong name like 3 times in the same at bat. Like they don't realize they're saying the wrong name. Like no one corrects them, or like there was a Yankee game that for a whole at bat they were calling Aaron Judge Giancarlo Stanton.
What?
Like, does that look like Giancarlo Stanton?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
what?
There's an at bat like that.
Oh my god.
So it was like they're just not aware. Like there's no awareness on like their broadcast. I like their camera quality, but that's about it. Like
a lot of their camera quality is done with iPhones now too, for some reason. Some of it.
I think the best camera quality in terms of sports, not just baseball, but sports, is Amazon.
Oh yeah,
Amazon's got the best one
because
by far.
Because I watch the Prime Vision broadcast because I like all the analytics stuff that they do. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's in my opinion. That broadcast is, in my opinion, the best way to watch football outside of Red Zone. I literally love the Prime Vision broadcast.
See, I know people have kind of like moved on from watching the Fox and CBS broadcast, but listen, like there's nothing better for postseason baseball or for like the NFL than hearing the theme songs for Fox and CBS and NBC and all that stuff. Like that's the stuff that makes me feel like I'm home. Like the only thing that would make me feel better, I think, about baseball broadcasts is that they like listen. I don't like Joe Buck as a football commentator, but I loved him as the voice of baseball, especially in the postseason.
Did you like when he did the Yankees game to open the year?
I did. I mean, because it's like Joe Buck, his voice is so good for not. I don't think it's good for football. It's so good for baseball that I'm just like I miss here. I quite honestly I don't miss hearing his voice when it comes to football. I miss hearing his voice when it comes to baseball. Baseball and him go together so well, and just I miss like that. That's the nostalgia I'm talking about. Like I have nostalgia for the ESPN broadcast. I have nostalgia for those kinds of things. So it's like I'm kind of like the old man, get off my lawn kind of thing, where I don't like change, and unfortunately it has changed, and it's just like I miss it. For lack of a better word, I miss it, and it's it's like when I go back, like I even go back and I watch old New Jersey Nets intros just to feel something about the Nets, like because I'm like
you're playing a team from Jerusalem in the preseason this week.
Well, yeah, I know.
If you lose that game, we're gonna have a conversation.
Oh, I can imagine because I don't know. I don't think we'll win. But my problem, like my it's just not a problem. My problem is like my addiction to sports, like all started with that like era. Like like when I heard, back when Yes Network. I mean, they still show obviously the Nets games. They are the home of the Nets and the Yankees. But remember, the old Nets broadcasts in like those snowy December, January, February nights in New Jersey, and Ian Eagle coming with a broadcast and hearing the old New Jersey Nets theme song come on my TV, and getting ready to settle in for the night in the winter, watching Nets basketball, watching my players, in the late 2000s, mid to late 2000s.
When you watch the Nets, you're just like, get this off my TV.
That's why I still love that Ian Eagle's the voice of the Nets. That makes me happy.
And I think Noah does a good job too. I think his son does a good job on those broadcasts too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, Noah's so much like his father. That's why I love it too. It's like if Ian ever decided to leave, which he wouldn't, but if he did, I would love to just have Noah there, just to go follow right after your dad. So like, it's like and Noah grew up, I think, in this area because obviously Ian calling all those Nets games for years and years and years and years. So Noah is basically a Jersey guy. So I love the Nets broadcast, but like even tonight, I was talking to the guys in the chat as we're watching the Yankee game, and and Kev and Josh were kind of making fun of me, and they were like, oh, you're flipping out about the broadcast, like you're flipping out with little things that don't matter. I'm like, it matters to me because
we're journalism majors. What do you want us to do?
Like it matters to me because listen, I'm not an audio visual guy. I mean, some journalism majors were, I wasn't, but I know bad audio and bad visuals when I see it, when it looks like crap, and it did tonight. So
Jake guy didn't have the commentary on.
But those are definitely the things I miss. So basically, all this is to say, my obituary to ESPN's pretty much, for lack of a better word, baseball coverage is even though they're going to get some games next year. So
the thing is, I'm surprised because I literally have no idea about it. Like we know some of it, but not everything.
Yeah, so no one actually knows. They've been keeping people kind of in the dark,
which is really weird because I was like, if NBC gets Sunday Night Baseball, well, they can't do it because they have the NBA. So is Sunday Night Baseball just going to be exclusive to Peacock? Like, what are we doing?
I
have no idea.
I wish. I genuinely don't know, but all I know is all I know is that all my long-winded explanation for the last like 15, 20 minutes has been it's me being nostalgic about old broadcasts and the way it used to be. Like that's what I miss what I grew up on. Put it that way. You know, it's fair. Like, but when the games do come on, I throw it out the window, and even at 25 years old, I still act like that 7-year-old that still, after a loss, wants to go cry in his room that his team lost. So like, you know, or start jumping around that we won. Like, the second we got that last out of the game tonight, the Yankees game, I literally ran over to my grandpa. I was like, let's fucking go. Like, I was literally losing my shit, and I was like, I'm never gonna, everybody's like, oh, you take it too seriously. I'm like, no, I'm a fan, and this is what I love.
You're a fan,
so it's just, I miss the old way of how sports broadcasting used to be, because it's what I grew up on. It's what made me want to be a sports journalist. It's what made me want to be a sports writer, sports broadcaster, be in sports media. Was the old school, mid to late 2000s, and what I grew up on listening to on TV and seeing on TV. So, that's why I have an appreciation and a nostalgia for it that we won't see ever again.
Yeah. I was just, are you curious about all the events happening in Seattle this weekend? Because it's fucking insane, bro.
Oh my god! I mean, listen. You guys are finally going to experience what I've been living through for 25 years in this area.
You do realize we have bad traffic.
Yeah, but not as bad as we have it here. I guarantee it's not as bad as we have it here.
Nope. Okay, so let's see. So Saturday, Mariners game is at 5:38. This is Pacific time. Sounders at 7:30. Sunday, Seahawks game 105, Mariners 5:03. And then there's a convention happening downtown. Cruise ships, apparently. We have 5 cruise ships that are docking downtown. For some reason. And then we have 2 concerts.
Yeah, you guys are weird. That doesn't happen here like that.
Yeah, we have a concert. We have a concert at 7:30 on Saturday and a concert Sunday at 8.
Who is it?
Let's see. So it's Laffy on Saturday and then Benson Boone on Sunday at Climate Pledge.
Okay, that's gonna drive traffic. Jesus. Oh, Cam Schlittler just posted an hour ago. Cam Schlittler posted this. I'll send it to you in the chat if I can get it. This is actually funny. Come on, don't do this. Actually, wait. I'll put it on my story. Look at my story in about 2 seconds. Hold on.
You put the Ryan McMahon talking Yanks in. Dude, that's so funny.
Yeah, you'll see it on my story in 2 seconds. Check this out. Cam Schlittler is literally roasting. Cam Schlittler's got to be drunk because he's literally going after everybody on the timeline that are Red Sox fans or Red Sox
drinking
people.
That dirty water.
And then he also said this. I put it in the chat. Look at this.
yeah. The woman. I saw this too. The woman who said Sox in 3.
Oh man, he's going off. Oh, Cam Schlittler, you are a Yankee for life, my friend. Thank God you're on our side.
All right. Well,
Jesus.
Well, I'm off to listen to the Taylor Swift album. Good night, everybody.
Oh, good Lord. Only you.
I think Scoop is as well.
I wouldn't doubt it. That's not from me. That's not the music I listen to.
I'm doing that and then Peacemaker. So I'm going.
No, I'm gonna. I have to catch up. I still have to finish the first season.
Dude, it's so good, bro. It's so good.
I know it is really good.
I'm sorry I spoiled it last week, but that was nuts.
I mean, that's right. Well, that's all right. I'm gonna see it anyway. So,
yeah. I mean, everyone kind of knew anyway.
It's not gonna take away from my enjoyment of it.
Yeah,
so I don't care.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. And also, I'll watch John Cena do anything. I'll watch John Cena drink dirty water.
Dude. If, season 2, John Cena, man, he separated himself, man. That's I mean, I always liked him as an actor, but he acts, bro. Like he acts in season 2. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, it's great. It's great. Well, have a great weekend, everybody. We will see you on Sunday after baseball and after a terrible Patriots-Bills game, presumably. We'll see you then. Peace out, everybody.
Take care, everybody.